Hey guys, welcome back. I am Renee Powers and I have not posted in 2 weeks. I took a break after I published Define, but we are back and it is good to be back. So we are talking my third song of the album today. It's called Amends, and I'm going to walk you through 3 of the things that I learned from making this song. Let's jump into it. Number 1, we start with a cliche. Less is more. The production and the instruments and the arrangement of Amends is actually really simple in comparison to the story that it tells. So Amends is kind of a heartbroken song. It didn't really start out that way, but that's what it became. It's really simple. It only took me a couple weeks to compose, which isn't really that long because I'm working on it off and on. Whenever I was making Define, basically, I don't want to say it's thrown together because there is thought put behind the arrangement, but it's very simple, composition-wise. And I really feel like that kind of simplicity is what makes it a little unique as compared to some of my other songs. So that brings us to number 2. The truth makes the best lyrics. Like I said before, this song was inspired by true events. This song was actually based on several experiences that I had with several different people. And I kind of combined them all to make a song that sings about regretting the loss of good friendships and bad friendships. So it was kind of an interesting collaboration of the two. But it was the combination of all these situations that really impacted me, and that's what ended up influencing me to write Amends. A lot of times I actually struggle to write songs about my life because I really don't have a ton of things I think I can write about. I'm sure I do, but I haven't really recognized them as potential songwriting sources yet. So when you're trying to write based on true events, often it's the sad or the really impactful things that make you write the songs or the stories or, the films and that sort of thing. Number 3. Our last thing I learned from making this song is texture. Amends was one of my first songs to utilize a whole bunch of different textures. Now, what do I mean by that? The main instrument of this song came from a pack called Opia, Labs Opia. Awesome pack, I use it a lot, but this Amends song was pretty much composed almost completely just using Opia. So Opia has a lot of different cityscapes and birds chirping and different textures, and you really can't tell unless you're listening for it, but in Amends, most of the composition is interesting little sounds. The same is kind of true for Heaven because I wanted to really hone in on those sort of little things that kind of catch your attention, but nothing in this album really portrays those little textures like Amends. It is actually one of my favorite songs of the album because it feels the most complete. In addition to the main instrument, which is that tape warp effect from Opia, and the textures that I use, like birds chirping and the city sounds, I also used a lot of warm organic instruments, so cellos, and I sang really low in my register for this song because I wanted to feel kind of like a tense lullaby. So it was kind of my utilizing those, it was like violins, cellos, shakers, soft percussion, and then that lower register to create sort of a not spooky, but sort of tense and kind of restless feel. So, I mean, honestly, the best way to describe it would be a tense lullaby. It's soft, but it's also kind of, there's a feeling to it like longing, like you're kind of waiting for the completeness of the sound. The sounds of Amends didn't really end up no pun intended, defining the album Define, but I think it's definitely, the style of Amends is something I would definitely want to revisit in the future for other songs. Obviously I can't copy Amends, but I really do like how that all came together. And I don't really attribute this to my arrangement skills. I think it's just kind of a chance of all these instruments and all these sounds that came together, plus the storyline behind it. All those things kind of combined to make a song that really felt true to me as a producer. So there you have it, 3 things I learned from Amends. Thank you for tuning in today, and I will see you next week.